Imagine walking out of Google, the future of self-driving cars in your laptop, and handing it to Uber. That's what this man did. His name is Anthony. It all began in 2009 when Google was working on something crazy, cars that could drive themselves anywhere and anytime. This project, which was under Google X, became known as Waymo and was led by Silicon Valley's brightest minds, including Anthony. Anthony was not just another self-driving cars engineer, he was a brilliant and bold visionary. As an employee of Google under Waymo, Anthony helped build the technology that could make cars see, the LiDAR system. Think of it as the eyes of the autonomous vehicle. It could scout surroundings, detect objects, and make real-time driving decisions. But somewhere along the way, Anthony felt boxed in. He thought, Google isn't moving fast enough. The bureaucracy and hierarchy are slowing innovation down. So he did what most Silicon Valley's geniuses do when they feel restless. He quit and left. Just that he didn't leave empty-handed. Before quitting in January 2016, a time where Google and Waymo's parent company had become Alphabet, Anthony had downloaded about 14,000 confidential files, roughly 9.6 gigabytes of data, containing Waymo's designs, testing reports, and technical schematics. He then wiped his company laptop clean, quit, and launched his own company, Otto. Otto was focused on self-driving cars. Yes. 6 months after the launch of Otto, Uber came knocking. They priced and bought Otto for $680 million in stock and made Anthony the head of Uber's self-driving division. What a deal that was. Uber has struck gold. They were ahead in the race against Google, Tesla, and Apple in autonomous driving. Or so they thought. In February 2017, Waymo filed a lawsuit against Uber, alleging trade secret misappropriation, patent infringement, and unfair competition. They claimed Uber's LiDAR system was similar to theirs, identical in fact, down to the circuit board design and sensor arrangement. Waymo accused Anthony of stealing their trade secrets and Uber of not only benefiting from the theft. At first, Uber denied, saying, "We built our LiDAR from scratch." This narrative changed when the evidence against them became overwhelming. Waymo had receipts, and not just any receipts. Anthony's downloaded logs, timestamps, and matching blueprints. They also had evidence of emails, internal memos, and code snippets between Anthony and the then CEO of Uber, Travis, before Anthony officially left Google. What in the name of IP was that? George William, the famous Silicon Valley tech judge overseeing the case, didn't even let the matter go into full trial. He slammed Uber with discovery sanctions and recommended an out-of-court settlement. Uber finally gave up fighting. In 2018, Uber agreed to settle the case for $245 million. He publicly apologized to Waymo and promised never to use Waymo's technology again. Anthony was fired and later charged with theft and trade secret misappropriation and sentenced to 18 months in prison in 2020. But he only spent just over 3 months thanks to President Trump's full pardon in January 2021. But what if Uber didn't know Anthony had those confidential business files of Waymo? Well, that's exactly why every smart business runs an IP due diligence audit before hiring, merging, or acquiring any system or business. Kudos to Uber, who skipped this step and learned the IP way. For starters, a trade secret is any confidential business information that gives a company competitive advantage because it is not generally known by others. They are not registrable and are often embedded in document and protected through non-disclosure agreement, employment agreement, internal company policies, and other kinds of agreements. Once disclosed, protection ends. It is this protection that makes the trade secret an exclusive financially valuable asset or secret. A trade secret would often include formulas, manufacturing processes, source codes, customer lists, business strategies, pricing models. The rule is simple: own it or lose it. I am Ujamapa, your startup, IP, and consumer protection lawyer. Subscribe, follow, and let us know the happy story you would like to hear next.